horror film, The Incubus, that features a performance of you and Samson playing in a movie theater.
Yeah,
it's from Greg Z. No relation to Roy, I presume.
Features a heavily caffeinated version of me as well. Look at my eyeballs, like that, right? No, I had no idea that was going to be used in Incubus, right? So the first thing I knew about that was when somebody said, "Wow, it's you in Incubus." I went, "What?" You know. And sure enough, I saw that. It was from we did a video called Biceps of Steel with Samson, which was, oh my God, what's the name of the guy? Director, who's now, he's quite a posh Hollywood type name now, Julian Temple, right, Julian Temple. Julian Temple's first video, I believe, was me, Samson, Biceps of Steel, featuring a 15-minute short, right, that was supposed to go out with, I'm sure if you asked him, do you remember Biceps of Steel? He goes, no, it wasn't me, my brother. No. But it featured this cheesy story about Samson, super roadie, who is so into like protecting the kids against the brutish security people, but they use the girl on the ticket desk to seduce him, cut his hair, and he loses his powers, but finally he pulls apart two giant Marshall stacks and the entire theatre collapses and everybody dies. There you go, little, so we filmed this and we did one track called Hard Times and then another one called Vice Versa. Vice Versa was the one which featured with the in Incubus, and they just extracted, and it was just we did it in the Rainbow Theatre, which was still a theatre back then. Now I think it's like it's a church now, or for some sect or something. But back in the day, it was an actual venue. In fact, it was the first London venue I played with Maiden, was the Rainbow. So yeah, we shot it at the Rainbow, and our drummer Barry, or Thunderstick, Thunderstick was Samson, super roadie, wearing a big red wig. And his brother-in-law was playing him in the cage with like the gimp mask on, The gimp mask was rather an unfortunate touch because at the time we became notorious, because whilst he was wearing the gimp mask, he had prepared that persona of Thunderstick. The idea was that it was going to be a cross between The Residents and Gene Simmons. So whilst he was in character, he would utter no human sound. So interviews were dodgy, So like, well, Mr. Stick, what do you think about that? He was like the Frankenstein voice, from like Son of Frankenstein, smoke good, So he would stay in character, doing all this stuff, but obviously he's got his brother-in-law to double. But when we were having pictures taken, he unfortunately, at the same time that he had this image, there was another person in the UK wearing a similar gimp mask, and his name, unfortunately, was the Cambridge Rapist. And so we became known as Samson, the band with the drummer who wears the rapist mask. And he protested his innocence. He was like, it's not a rapist mask, it's not a rapist mask. Anyway, my mask is different to his mask. I've got sequins on my mask, he hasn't got sequins on his mask. I think the difference is lost on the general audience. The New York Post is not listening, So yeah, it was. But we had some notoriety as a result of that, unfortunately. But so we made the movie, and then that bit that I'm in is actually just it's just a laser shining. It's like a green laser shining through smoke over the stalls in the auditorium, and I am sat in one of the seats, and I just sort of go, there's a laser, like that. She was a real two-timer. She knew I'd never leave. Finest hour. Julian Temple, bless him.
I love the Julian Temple part of that story too, because there's a lot of it. Makes me think of the director Jonas Åkerlund, who
I know Jonas.
Yeah, and he's done huge videos for Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And all this.
Yeah.
His first video ever was Candlemass.
Yeah, yeah, but that's because he loves that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.